Hello and welcome to this week's Sounds of Brass roundup of the latest news, contest results and developments from the vibrant world of brass bands. I'm Peter, and over the next 15 minutes we'll bring you the essential stories shaping the brass band community in the UK, Europe and beyond. Let's start off with eminent Scottish composer Peter Graham, who has been commissioned by the Kirkintilloch Band to write a special piece of music in memory of the late Peter Fraser, MBE. The composition is to be called Keeper of the Flame, which Professor Graham has described as a tribute to Peter Fraser, whose lifelong dedication to the Kirkintilloch Band, his great passion, sustained it both musically and behind the scenes. Built on the melody of Loch Lomond, the work reflects a deep sense of tradition and continuity. The Kirkintilloch Band is delighted to announce that thanks to the generosity of supporters, 65% of the Just Giving target to fund the commission has now been reached. The campaign was established to commission the new work in memory of Peter Fraser, a deeply respected and much-loved figure within the Scottish and the European banding community. Professor Graham added, the title honours those whose quiet commitment keeps tradition alive. Peter Fraser was such a figure, a steadfast presence, whose loyalty, care and service helped to carry the band's spirit from one generation to the next. In this sense, he was truly a keeper of the flame. Entries for the popular Red Admiral Hymn and March contest at the Academy's flagship entertainment contest are now being welcomed by event organisers. The Hymn and March event will take place in the village of Croston in Lancashire on Sunday the 5th of July. Bands will perform a chosen hymn and a contest march on Croston Village Green. With a total prize fund of £3,000, this year's bands will also be required to perform a road march, with the organisers asking bands to choose a march that encompasses the Academy mantra, making music fun, making music together. Red Admiral's entertainment contest will take place on Sunday the 27th of September in Chorley, Lancashire. Last year saw over 40 bands competing across 5 sections with a prize fund of £8,000. Academy leader Danny Brooks commented by saying, Red Admiral now offers a trio of contests across the banding year. 34 bands will be part of the revived Fleetwood contest after an absence of 13 years, and we look forward to bands joining us for our other 2 events. Band interests in registering should contact Red Admiral via redadmiralcontest@outlook.com. That's redadmiralcontest@outlook.com. Brass Bands England has announced initial details for 2 of their annual nationwide campaigns. Every summer, BBE's popular national initiatives brings a focus on brass banding in school playgrounds and bandstands across the country. Sarah Bowman, Programmes and Fundraising Director, commented by saying, Brass Band Week and Proms in the Playground are returning this year, and we encourage as many members as possible to participate in this free-to-access opportunity. This year, we're bringing more initiatives and prizes for our member bands who participate, so please don't miss out. Full information about member benefits and registration process for BBE member bands will be available from Wednesday the 22nd of April. Also, Brass Band Week, which is an annual UK-wide festival of brass banding launched in summer 2024, now is in the 3rd year, and this week-long celebration of brass banding will take place Saturday 4th, Sunday the 12th of July 2026. If you love brass banding as much as BBE does, then it's time to shout about it. Brass Band Week listings are exclusive to BBE members, and every band who submits a listing for a summer event will be entered into a prize draw for brass band related goodies, alongside opportunities to nominate your summer projects for the Brass Band Week Awards. A highlight of the school brass calendar is Proms in the Playground, which is an annual campaign that encourages brass bands to bring live music to schools across the country. The 5th iteration will take place from Monday the 6th to the 24th of July 2026. Taking part is simple. Team up with your local school to offer a performance in the playground this summer and join the bands reaching thousands of children each year. As in previous years, the BBE team will be on hand to support making your school visit a success with resources and guidance. For any questions, then get in touch with the BBE team at info@bbe.org.uk. That's info@bbe.org.uk. A major development in the brass band world this year is the launch of an ambitious new music commissioning project spearheaded by the Cooperation Band, Corey Band, Flowers Band, Treadgar and Forums Band in partnership with BBC Radio 3. The initiative aims to bring established composers from outside the brass band tradition into the fold, injecting fresh creative energy into the repertoire. The first commission, Orbital by Richard Blackford, is inspired by Samantha Harvey's Booker Prize winning novel and explores themes of existence, faith and humanity's place in the universe. The work is described as virtuosic and dramatic, with each of the 5 collaborating bands scheduled to give premiere performances throughout 2026. The project's goal is to create music that will be widely adapted by bands and to foster ongoing collaborations with composers from diverse backgrounds. BBC Radio 3's continued support following the success of the Brass Banding with Hannah Peel series underscores the growing recognition of brass bands within the broader cultural landscape. Further commissions are already in the discussion, promising an exciting future for new music in the movement. On the international front, the French national championships in Forges-l'Orx, Normandy saw Horse de France brass band crowned champions for the 7th consecutive year. Under Luc Verteman, the band delivered a commanding performance of Thierry Delirioul's No Man's Land and Nigel Clark's Dial H for Hitchcock, earning an average score of 95.5. Paris Brass Band and Alias Brass Band completed the podium, with Cedric Guesquires of Horse de France named Best Soloist and Paris Brass Band Percussion Section recognised for excellence. The contest highlighted the strength and consistency of French banding at the very highest level. Elsewhere in Europe, the Ikanga Bjorjevic Musilark Brass Band celebrated International Women's Day with a concert in Bergen's Grieghallen, featuring the world premiere of Elizabeth Van Oob's Trombone Concerto. The event underscored the growing prominence of female composers and conductors in the brass band world. The National Youth Brass Band of Great Britain's Easter concert for 2026 are almost here. With the majority of tickets already sold, don't miss your chance to experience over 90 of the UK's finest young brass and percussion players under the direction of guest conductor Professor Nicholas Childs, with guest soloist Mike Kavanagh on baritone. This year's concert, themed New Horizons, will feature Horizons by Paul Lubbock Cooper, world premiere Suite for Brass, inspired by the work of Victoria Wood and arranged by Andrea Price, Turbulence, Tide and Talk, Concerto for Baritone by Peter Graham with soloist Mike Kavanagh, Heroes by Bruce Broughton, A Fantasy of Joy by Frederick Schneiderruck, Milltown Revival by Peter Graham, Pulse by Thomas Doss with soloist Mike Kavanagh, Ave Maria by Charles Grownod, soloist Mike Kavanagh, and An Age of Kings by Edward Gregson. Easter Concert 1 in Leyburn on Saturday the 11th of April 2026, commences at 5 o'clock and finishes at 7 p.m. The Garden Rooms at Tennant's Hanby Road, Leyburn, DL8 5SG. Tickets are £18 general, £15.50 concessionary, and free under 18s plus booking fee. The Easter Concert 2, being held in Manchester, will be held on Saturday the 18th of April 2026, commencing at 6 p.m. and finishing at 8 p.m. Doors open at 5 p.m. It's being held at the Royal Northern College of Music, 124 Oxford Road, Manchester, M13 9RD. Tickets are £19 general, £16.50 for concessioners, and free for under 18s. For more information, go to www.rncm.ac.uk/performance/the-national-youth-band-of-Great-Britain. And finally, the North of England Regional Championships held in Durham last weekend saw Ever Ready get their hands back on the trophy for the first time in 10 years. The band gave a blistering performance of Ellaby's Elgar Variations under musical director David Morton, which also saw them pick up all but one of Best Instrumentalists awards on offer. A spokesman for the band stated, "We are incredibly proud to be crowned North of England Regional Champions, our 37th area title and our first win in 10 years. It's been a long time coming and it makes this one feel even more special. This didn't happen overnight. It's been built up on months, years of hard work, determination and prep work from Johnny and a real sense of togetherness. And today, everything came together when it mattered the most." As we look forward to the upcoming weeks, the brass band world is poised for further excitement and achievement. The Spring Festival in Birmingham, the European Championships in Linz, and the build-up to the national finals promise memorable performances and new stories. The community movement, resilience, creativity and sense of community continue to shine, supported by dedicated musicians, educators, organisers and of course the loyal fans. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this week's broadcast of the World Brass Band News. For more news, recordings and updates, visit your favourite band websites, follow contest coverage on Wordplay and 4Bars Rest, and stay tuned for our next edition. Until then, keep supporting live music and enjoy the best of brass banding. Let's keep brass banding alive wherever you are. I'm Peter Webster, and that was your weekly brass band entertainment and brass band world news here from Sounds of Brass Radio.